My wonderful listeners, here we are for part two, where we continue a conversation that reaches straight into the heart of what tutoring should be, a space where every child feels safe, respected, and fully understood. In part two of my talk with the wonderful Rachel Ballantyne from Edify and Tutoring, we go deeper into the children whose needs are often misunderstood, overlooked, or minimized. Neurodivergent learners. We will dive deep into one of the most powerful parts of the whole conversation, the vocabulary of care. So, as I always say, sit down comfortably, get yourself a coffee, and let's get started.
Woo! Let's go!
How can we address those concerns? How do we provide that reassurance and that kindness? Because we have a real heart for children and we don't want them to scare them off of teaching and learning. We want them to really enjoy the process as well as
Exactly,
take
that's part
away
of it.
academic. We don't want them to fear learning and we don't want them to fear us. But at the same time, we manage expectations with the parents. So we had the conversation with the parents. She said, well, your daughter might not receive a grade 9. She might not receive a grade 8. But if she achieves a grade 6 and she's happy and she actually enjoys reading again, that's the win.
This is something that has to be done with parents. Parent needs to be very aware about the situation, the reality of their children, right?
Absolutely.
Because I've noticed, actually, I've seen parents, actually, they're pretty reluctant on that part. I mean, they think like, no, everything's fine. No, he has no problem or she has no problem. So they don't want to accept that reality as well. So have you had any case like that? Where parents are kind of reluctant to accept something like that? Like, no, my son or my daughter, they're not like that. They're
We
pretty
had
normal.
yeah, absolutely. And we had an incident where a student was really struggling. They have since been diagnosed with dyslexia, but in the school setting that they were in previously, they were very not silenced, but they were discouraged from speaking about anything that they were finding difficult because they just needed to comply with the rules, follow the rules, be quiet, sit down, listen to the teacher. But what we're doing at Edify is we're encouraging parents to teach children to speak up if something feels wrong.
Yes.
So to trust their instincts and understand what inappropriate behavior looks like and know that they can speak to a trusted adult at any time.
And that's already winning. And that's already winning.
Absolutely. We also check in on our tutors just to make sure that the resources are kind of age appropriate and that conversations that are had build awareness and confidence and really instill that trust and integrity amongst the team.
Well, in my own teaching experience, I've seen students who don't just need academic support. They need to feel safe enough to express themselves. And sometimes that emotional safety becomes the bridge to learning. And that's reality. If you don't actually have that connection, I'm not saying like a friendship, but like it has to be a connection with the student.
Yes, absolutely.
Otherwise, they won't actually learn properly. And definitely safeguarding, it needs to be a must, right? Like to connect with the students.
Yes, absolutely. And we see that the tutors become that trusted person for the student. But it's making sure that you have that professional relationship, that boundaries aren't crossed, never promising that you can keep a confidence, never keeping secrets or asking the child to keep secrets. Again, it's this culture of integrity and transparency. I think parents need to be comfortable collaborating with the school or the tutoring company to kind of share this support and safeguarding culture.
Yes.
Sharing safeguarding resources with other families or attending safety briefings, agreeing clear reporting pathways, just making sure that there are that everything is seen, that nothing is hidden, nothing is shamed, that it's that transparency that, shared vigilance protects all the children.
Yeah, that's the point. Protection. And I've seen actually a lot of that in my experience. It's pretty sad, but I've seen a lot, and it's really like you feel frustrated because you cannot actually do everything. You cannot be in the middle of everything, even though you're there. I mean, you
Yes,
cannot just go and like be a superhero and try to protect them or
yes.
something. But it's good
Hmm.
actually to see this movement, because this is like a movement of safeguarding
Yes.
children, not only just teaching, but also safeguarding them. That's beautiful. And one of the things come to my mind right now, the the first time that we were talking about this safeguarding, you said something that I consider brilliant during our call the last time. The vocabulary of safeguarding must be multilingual.
Yes. So
It's stuck in my head.
we were talking about, particularly, I think we were talking about languages, and obviously,
Yes,
languages education, and making sure that, um, that we have this almost the common tongue of safeguarding. We have all of the words and, um, the language that is used is very clear. So, for example, the safeguarding
this is gonna
letter
be
will be,
challenging, I think.
well, quite, but luckily we're in an age of AI where we have we have very, very
Okay,
quick translation
that's true.
material tools.
That's true.
But making sure the safeguarding charter is accessible in any
That's
language that's
true.
spoken by the families of the students we
Beautiful.
speak. We have, a lot of the students we work with are ethnically Chinese. They're either mainland China or in Hong Kong, and, some of the parents don't read or speak, English particularly like proficiently. So we have our document translated into Mandarin,
Yeah,
um, and it's making sure that we have all of the words are clear. We don't use jargon. There's no point. It's about
exactly.
children and it's about their safety.
Yes. So this is one of the parts because languages. Languages actually vary among all of them. Because
Yes,
in Spanish, something might be said in one way, but the same way you cannot apply it in Chinese. So
yes,
there
yes,
comes the real challenge. And yeah, definitely, we got AI. Definitely, actually, AI can actually help us translate, or even some parts of the AI can actually tell us what to say better for a
yes,
specific country or specific language. But that can be a little bit challenging as well. It would be like 100% trust in AI.
yes.
Yeah. So
Uh, I think I think everything I think everything AI related comes with a degree of caution,
mhm,
because when we work with teachers, we make sure that they understand, or tutors, sorry, they understand how to use AI with safeguarding in mind. So they never enter any personal details of the students into
mhm,
AI. They, never share their own personal details or passwords with AI.
exactly.
They make sure we follow the 20-60-20 rule when creating, documents using AI. It's very, very useful for creating exam materials, in a similar style
True.
to existing exam materials. But the first 20% is any ideas that you have that you then put into AI. The next 60% is AI creating it or generating something. But then the last 20% is the human touch. And that's where you go back through. You make sure
Exactly.
you read very carefully, making sure that, no, um, nothing is inappropriate for the students, nothing is inappropriate for the families, that cultural capital is embedded into that resource so
Exactly.
that you understand certain, sensitivities that certain cultures have. Just making sure that you're respecting yourself, the family, and the culture
Hmm.
in which they live.
True. That's true. I'm super happy actually you're bringing this like in the way that you said it right now. 20%. That 20%. I remember I was actually having this episode with a great teacher, um Vicky Summel. Wonderful. She's actually part of the Cambridge University Press stuff and
Right. Wow.
always doing this teacher training, and she's been
Hmm.
involved pretty much involved in teaching languages, specifically
Hmm.
English. So we were actually talking about this AI, and she said quite exactly what you just say. I like it because it means like all the teachers are speaking the same language now. Because yes, we really need AI at a certain point, but it still requires the human touch.
And I hear this. So my husband works for DeepMind. He's a AI engineer, software engineer, and he is always asked, "Well, is a robot going to take my job? Is AI going to take over my job?" And he's like,
No.
"No, no, 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 no. The only will jobs be replaced by AI?" It's like no,
Yeah,
but your job might be replaced by somebody who knows how to operate AI, safely, and
exactly.
has an aptitude for using technology well. So AI is only ever as good as the person managing it. So if we have this culture of trust, integrity, safeguarding, and we embed that into all areas of our practice, then we
Yeah.
have nothing to fear.
True. AI, now I also come up with my student. I have a student, Russian student. Her name
Yes.
is Alsu. I taught her when she was actually in high school, almost graduating from high school.
Ah,
Right now, she's in the Netherlands, I think. She's
okay.
working. She's working for an AI company. So I was like, AI, artificial intelligence. She was like, no, it's not artificial intelligence. It's not.
Hmm.
I don't know why people call it like that. It's machine learning. We are putting the data
Yes.
there. It's like, okay, then,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah. It's the yeah, it is humans who you have to have that last 20%. It's the same if you're teaching a child English, it's all well and good having something translated. So we have somebody, one of our associates speaks Mandarin. I wouldn't dream of putting a document on our website that's been translated to Mandarin without her reading it first. What about all the
Exactly.
imagine the issues that could arise. It's just that human level of trust and that
Yeah,
human checking and sensitivity that you can apply is just you know unparalleled. You can't do that with a robot.
exactly. No, no, that's the part that we're not going to be. That's why we're going to keep having our jobs. Nobody's going to actually take our jobs. So that's beautiful. That's something I really love as well. Talking about AI, and it's actually suitable to talk about it now because you say multilingual. So we gotta
Yes.
be, we gotta actually tell the audience that you're prepared. You got not only AI, but you got people behind you who actually knows the language, or you can find someone specifically with that language and translate if it's needed. So
Yes.
that's perfect. That actually creates even more a more safety space. You know, it's
Yes.
safe. It's not just something translated there. That's beautiful.
Yes.
That's powerful because as a linguist and teacher, I've always believed that language shapes awareness.
Oh, absolutely.
And perhaps by naming protection, we normalize it, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I think it's these um, just making sure that you have those open conversations, like we're saying. Things
Yes.
like if there is a child parents thinking about how parents can safeguard children if they don't speak English or they live somewhere without safeguarding laws that are necessarily in place. Just making sure parents can still protect their children, asking for clear evidence of checks and training, staying physically present or visibly or visible during the sessions themselves,
Yes.
kind of using reputable platforms with built-in safety tools, setting expectations in your own language, making sure that the
True.
the conversation is had, and then seeking help from schools or community groups or trusted networks. Um, Again, it's this visibility and clarity. So, regardless of local expectations, it's about protecting you and yourself and yours, so your family.
Beautiful. It's refreshing to hear that safeguarding isn't just protection for students, it's also protection for tutors.
Yes.
It's a healthy boundary system, protects both sides.
Yes.
Because as I was telling you also, this teacher, this colleague, I don't know, but I just saw the post in on LinkedIn, and she was like, safeguarding. Everybody talks about safeguarding kids, but nobody talks about safeguarding teachers, tutors. Who's safeguarding us? Okay,
Yes, it's like, yeah.
I
And
think she
it's
had a little bit of
everybody's
anger
responsibility.
inside. Yeah,
Well, and too right, because I think anger is a sign of fire, and fire is something that we need to embrace. It shows that there's passion there, and I think, making sure that you have that fire for safeguarding, you have that fire to protect not only your children but the children you're working with and yourself. It's it's that it's that using that fire to kind of to stoke the culture. So, we say to our parents, make sure you gently check in with your child, observe their mood, and keep communication open. Look for consistency in session content and behavior. Trust is again something that it develops gradually through that transparency and safe practice. It's
exactly.
not blind trust. It's the trust that's built.
Yeah, good that you said it. I was gonna say that. Jesus, you got me on this one. Okay. Uh, now, I told you, I remember I told you I got a couple of questions actually that some of people just reach me out and say, okay, what
Yes,
about
yes.
this? What about that? I would like to start with one question that actually came, and I think it's important. How can families balance wanting to trust a tutor while also being cautious and vigilant? Is there a healthy middle ground?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's making sure that you have okay, say that again. Say the question again. I'm sorry. I lost my
No problem.
thought. Please say the question again. Sorry.
How can families balance wanting to trust a tutor while also being
Yes.
cautious and vigilant? Is there a healthy middle ground?
There's definitely a healthy middle ground. I think firstly being upfront about expectations,
Yes.
observing without hovering, keeping this honest, regular communication with the tutor. This is about normalizing conversations. So if you have a safety concern, um,
Yeah.
I know that you can feel awkward about having that conversation, but normalize the conversation. So parents can say something like, we ask tutors about their safety measures before starting,
Mhm.
just so everything's clear. This sets a calm professional tone and shows that safeguarding is a routine expectation.
Perfect. Now, another one. If tutoring occurs through video, what type of
Yes.
digital environments or controls, such as camera angles, recording options, would you suggest?
So, safe online sessions should include this neutral communal space, so never a bedroom, no personal or private items visible on camera,
Mhm.
secure logins and controlled access, pre-agreed session times, um, session recording with consent for transparency. So parents should always be able to review recordings if offered. And we always have communication via the WhatsApp channels that the parents are part of, regardless of the age of the child. I'm tutoring a 20-year-old who still lives with his parents. His parents are paying for the session. He and they are still in that WhatsApp group. We have that open communication. Um, it's about transparency at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
true. That's true. And now talking a little bit about teachers.
Yes.
For low income or rural families where certified tutors might be few and far between, what practical steps could make tutoring safer without adding extra cost?
Absolutely. That's a really, really good question. There are useful no cost measures. These sorts of things could be asking to see visible credentials, even if it's just seeing somebody's passport or driving license, making sure that you've seen those. Another free, no cost measure is keeping another adult nearby, using a device that can record sessions, choosing group tutoring for added visibility, and also involving schools or trusted community members. So, safety should never depend on budget. It is everybody's responsibility and it is for everybody's protection.
Exactly. That's the part. And now, $1 million question. For sure, right now in the audience, I have many teachers. I'm really glad actually I can reach out to all of them in South America, in North America,
Mm.
Asia as well. So, what if one of those teachers would like to work with you or like you? What would you suggest to
Yeah,
them?
I would really encourage them to collaborate with schools or tutoring companies to support this shared safeguarding culture. Um, Kind of sharing safeguarding resources. If you've got best practice, if something has worked for you, share it. There's no harm in that. It's again low cost. If your school or tutoring company offers safety briefings, take part in them. Agree clear reporting pathways. Have a contract in place that protects everybody. And also organizing or actually attending this online tutoring safety workshops. If so, I know Chris and Leah East from Cornerstone Safeguarding have their own podcast. It's called Safeguarding Redefined. It's incredible. Every conversation they have is about protecting children in very practical ways. So this is for anybody. It's for families. It's for tutors. It's for the students themselves. Listening in, they talk about quite heavy topics that
Mm,
are quite taboo in a lot of societies.
mm,
We talk about you know conversations around sex, conversations around relationships, conversations
mm.
around propriety, conversations
No
around culture.
taboo, talking about everything specifically,
Absolutely
right
no
to the
taboo.
nail.
What?
Yeah,
Absolutely, and I highly recommend. It's available on all the platforms. I've listened to it. I've been on it. It's fantastic. um
it would be really good
yeah.
if you after this episode, maybe you can actually share it,
Yes,
all those links from the website or
100%.
anything. You can share it so I can just give it to them, because for sure there might be a lot of teachers who would like to join the movement as well. There are many teachers
Yes,
actually out there that really care and have quite the same passion that you have,
yes,
and it would be amazing to have them like have that experience as well.
absolutely. Again,
Now,
we're oh, sorry.
see, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just going to say,
Yes.
um, I would welcome people to have a look at the resources that we're putting together. We're
Hmm.
looking to put together this kind of living safeguarding charter as of the new year.
Hmm.
um, and we'll make some of it public so that we can get some feedback, and we can evaluate and audit how we're doing. Again, it's this transparency. We're not going to get it right the first time. Nobody does, but we can do our absolute best to protect all of the stakeholders involved.
Beautiful. Now, I just asked you about the teachers, so if they can actually join, but can they join you specifically? Can they join Edify? Or
Oh,
right
we
now,
yes.
yeah, okay. So that's the million dollar question now.
Yeah, so we've actually
Definitely.
paused. We've we've paused student recruitment until January 3rd. That's when our new cohort starts. While we just make sure all of our onboarding processes, our safeguarding checks are as slick as possible. And during this time, we're also looking to onboard some amazing tutors globally. You can find details on our website. It's www.edifyangempowertutoring.co.uk. Ping us an email. We'd love to hear from people. And if you've had an experience that maybe you've got a question about how to approach that, especially safeguarding related, please do reach out to Leah and Chris East at Cornerstone Safeguarding. They are absolute experts in this space. And again, we're not doing this for our own financial benefit. We're doing this because it's a movement, and we want to kind of put fire to this movement to kind of keep it going and growing.
Caring. Caring. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
Caring.
We
That's
care.
beautiful. Yes. Don't forget actually to send all the links, because I just want to put all the
Absolutely.
links. I want everyone to reach out,
Yes.
not only teachers but also parents.
Yes.
I will actually just drop this part of this episode in WeChat on WeChat. Just gonna post it on WeChat channel,
Fantastic.
and I'm gonna just throw it here and with your information as well. That would be amazing.
Yeah,
People
we are on
people
WeChat.
deserve
Yeah.
people deserve to have a good teacher. People deserve to have a tutor, like highly qualified, not just someone who's just passing by to get some money, because that's not safety at all.
No. No. And the kids deserve better, and the families deserve
Yeah,
better.
definitely. So, Rachel, thank you for bringing light to something that should have always been central to education, but some way, somehow, it hasn't been. I believe that learning without safety is like building on sand. Edify is giving us a foundation strong enough to build futures on. And as educators, we don't just teach, we guard the innocence that allows learning to flourish. Let's protect the learners, uplift the tutors, and rebuild trust in tutoring together. I'm really, really happy having you in this one, Rachel. I hope this is not the first, this is not the last one.
Mm.
Hope this is the first one of many. So I
Yes,
hope you can
please.
actually join next time and tell us a little bit about your process and what happens, what awaits you in 2026 as well.
I'd love that. Thank you so much for having me, Mike.
Thank you, Rachel. Any last thought?
I really like your new glasses.
All right, thank you.
The virtual high
Wha-
five.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Virtual high five.
You got it. You got it. Awesome. Thank you, Rachel. That was
Thank
amazing.
you. Bye.
What a journey this second part has been. Today, Rachel helps us understand safeguarding not as a rule book, but as a living, breathing promise. A promise that includes every child, especially those who need a little more patience, understanding, or structure. We explore neurodiversity with compassion. We unpack how inclusion and safety walk hand in hand. And we imagine a world where safeguarding speaks every language, reaches every home, and empowers every parent. And hearing the questions from families around the world, that was powerful. It reminds us that safeguarding isn't just a policy, it's a responsibility we all share. I hope you can actually just enrich a bit more and understand the power of safeguarding. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and stay safe.